I've made a living in very dangerous.
Integrated language all sides.
Dianne Andrews in black and white.
Hello, this is Fuji Totes. I just found out Fuji could not come in with me, so I'm making a little video for you to see how the pillow works with the doggy in it. As you see, Fuji's in here, in the bottom of this. At the end, after I take him out, I'm going to take all the things that are in here with him that you need on a trip, or whether you're just going, for an afternoon, everything you need to take the dog. I have driven all the way to Las Vegas, Nevada, and taken Fuji and my other dog, my multiple, with me with their meds, their leashes, their water, cup, and whatever, and one pack, a couple of packs of food are in the bottom of this. By the way, I even have a COVID test. If you think your dog has COVID, it's in the bottom here that you can carry. And I'm going to show you, even with all that in the bottom, he can still lay here and feel nothing. You see him sitting down on it? He can still do that with all the things in there. And I'll show you what was in there. He had a Play-Doh. He had the COVID test, as I laughed about. He had a heavy leash. He has a water bottle. He has some food. And another leash. This pillow only weighs about 3 pounds. So whatever you need in your necessities are for your dog can go in here, along with the dog as you carry him wherever you want to go. To the park. And I'll tell you, sometimes I use this to put things as I go outside. So this is Fuji's Totes. And they are patented. Now, I'm going to show you in the presentation the large pillow. All of these are multifunctional pillows that can be used for cover-ups, for totes, for luggage. Thank you.
Welcome to Dianne Andrews in black and white. And no, I am not her. I am Donna Butler. And you are live under the city lights in the presence of Miss Dianne Andrews in black and white. I just happen to be hosting her show. How are you, darling?
All right, how are you doing today?
I am great. You look stunning as always.
Oh, you too, girl. Thank you. You know, we've been friends a long time, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Yes. And it's just good to be alive.
It is. And you look stunning. Like I said,
God is good to me, girl. Have you ever seen my mother's skin?
Yes, only on the pictures.
Oh, my God. She has the prettiest skin in the world.
Yes,
never aged.
And you didn't either.
Thank God for her.
It's that black excellence.
I appreciate you too, Dad.
She threw that out there. Dianne, I'm sitting here with, when you do a show, you have your questions, you have your things all lined up. And I can sit here and talk about who you are, your BS, your MBA. And when I say BS, I mean Bachelor's of Science, right?
Yeah, mathematics,
right. Yeah, I just want you to know that. She's math on this side, actress on this side. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. She has an honorary PhD. She's a chaplain. She's an investor, inventor, documentarian, actress.
Thanks to professional actress, thanks to Bliss.
Actress. So many. I have things here that we can go into. We can talk about BBs, which we're going to dive into. Entrepreneur, creator, writer, screenwriter. Yeah. The list goes on. But I'm going to take time because I want you to talk to our audience today about you, who you are. We have some of your lovely Fuji totes.
This was the original one made for Fuji that we got the patent on. I'm the only black in the country with a patent.
And that's what I want you to talk about. You are the only black, where?
In the country.
In the country, with your patent. And what is this patent?
Now, it's for humans, not to. In fact, Dr. Stan May's granddaughter, if you go on the website, which we'll have up here, her baby has it. Her beautiful little daughter has a pink one.
And talk about Fuji totes.
Fuji, God gave me the idea. I did not go to make a pillow. Fuji won. And I had driven to Houston. I left his pentabendal, which is heart medicine. Fuji was 15 then. And I said, oh, my God, I got to go back because he had to take it twice a day. I thought I was putting his medicines between my purse and my luggage. So I went to the vet, $200 later, another couple hours later in Houston. And when we got back to the hotel, I said, Fuji, you need your own luggage. And Fuji looked at me like, yeah, dummy. Yeah, I need my own luggage. Poodles are the smartest dogs. And I sat right there and drew it. I drew what exactly you see today. I said, okay, what's going to be good for a dog? I hadn't had a dog since I was a little kid, and the guy I was dating, Dr. Roger Lane, Fuji was his. But when Fuji saw me, he loved me. He just wanted to go home with me all the time. Love at first sight. And he was born the month my mother died. He died the month my mother was born. That was my mother's spirit in Fuji. And he lived 8.5 more years than me. He was almost 19 years old because he took vitamins. He had the best of everything,
take
the best
care of your
food.
babies.
Oh yes, just like all good pet owners and human owners should, right? Babies do. But so I drew it down and I said, okay, a pouch kind of like a kangaroo that I can put everything in it for my dog that he needs or she needs when they travel. And if you go on the website, you'll see a demo of everything that can go in this pillow, and it's amazing. And this weighs 2 pounds. The large one down here, for the big dog, the pit bulls and the Rottweilers and everything. Oh, I'm sorry, that's little Fuji.
That's
Said,
little
Mama,
Fuji.
That's Fuji too. Oh, let me show it to him. No. This one weighs 4.5 pounds.
And it's almost as big as you.
Yeah, bigger than me.
Yes, it is.
4.5 pounds.
And this
And you wash the entire pillow.
I was going to say, this can be washed.
Yes. And I have a stackable. I don't have a wide machine. That collapses down with the water, and then it pops back up, and you air dry it. It is dry in 20 minutes.
And they're so soft.
Yes.
They are
My
so
nephew,
soft.
when he comes over, Omari, he sleeps on 2 of them upstairs.
And they're that comfortable.
Yeah, they
I
really,
love
really.
the kangaroo.
Yeah.
Ouch. And you said something.
Now,
and
this unsnaps, and you
That's
can
what I
use it
wanna
as a
say.
sweater.
Okay.
The dog, if you go on the website, or you'll see it, there's an LSU football player's pit bull has it, and he snaps it back on him as a sweater.
As a
or
sweater.
sleeping. He can sleep in it like pajamas.
They're so comfortable. I have one
Yeah.
for my cats
Yeah.
and for my feet under my desk.
Yeah.
The cats lay on one side and I'm
Yeah.
on the other.
Oh,
But
they-
I want
I have other people with cats, and people don't think about cats for the
Oh,
one lady
my cats
bought her
love
cat
it.
one big like that.
my cats love my bed.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about
I just want to say this: we're opening the store in next month.
Next month. We'll be posting more
You can,
about
but
that.
you can order now on the website. The Square is there. Just go pay on Square, and it gives us a notice, and we come and send it out to you.
Who knows? You might get a special guest who might bring it to you.
That's right.
I love the kangaroo pouch because it reminds me of a mother.
Yes.
And a mother protecting her
Her
children.
young-
I know
yes.
your mother was very close to you.
Oh, yeah, very
So I want to
close.
jump into that. Talk about your mother for me a little
I
bit.
loved my mother and my father. I had great parents, and I think that makes a big difference in the person. Because I have their genes, number one. I'm very, very, they use the word soft-hearted, right? My daddy had a cab company, right? And I get the entrepreneur from him. He had cotton cops. I tried to go out there and cut cotton to somebody else's with my friends, to hold cotton, they called it then. And they told me, Dianne, don't come back no more. You are cutting down the cotton. I couldn't distinguish the weed from the crop. So that wasn't my thing. I'll get out here and wax these floors, do whatever. It's not that I'm too good. But I couldn't, and then I tried to pick cotton for Daddy one day. Oh, Dad, I picked 10 pounds. You got people out there with 200.
no.
I was not a cotton person. But I used to see we used to take the cotton. My mother drove the truck because she was a stay-at-home mom, but she drove the cotton truck. And she weighed the cotton, she weighed the people and all that stuff. So they had their little business of that. And Daddy worked at a mill also. So he was just an entrepreneur.
Right.
Where I get
It's
it
your
from.
entrepreneur spirit.
And my memory I get from my mother.
And I love your memory because you can
girl.
take us back to
Photographic.
a time. Yes. And
I
love
remember
that.
everything. And guys don't like that because a lot of
Well,
guys
'cause
I've
you
dated
remember.
bring that up. Right? I remember
Why did
stuff.
I bring that up?
Yeah, really.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
And your mother is a center point of a lot of what
Oh,
you
yes.
do. Well, I've worked with you, and you talk about her, and it's what brought you here.
That's right.
What's blessed us to have you here. Unfortunately, sad circumstances.
Right.
But you ended up here.
Right.
Talk about where you came from.
I was with IBM. I graduated college at 19 with that Bachelor of Science in Math and Chemistry, and I became a program on the Space Shuttle. And IBM did all the coding for the Space Shuttle in Johnson Space Center in Houston, in Clear Lake, really, in Clear Lake City. And then I moved on over to become a systems engineer with IBM to the marketing division. I moved over there. I was only the second black systems engineer woman in Houston, Texas for IBM. And I wanted to tell people, I talk about DE&E or all of that. IBM didn't use that. They didn't use the quota system. They just hired the best people. And organically, they ended up, we're 13% of the population. We were about 10 then. Hispanics are 20% of the population, and we'll take over the majority population in the next 20 years in this country. So we're not growing that much population-wise, right? Blacks as percentage of the country. But so my mother, she was just a wonderful lady. I still visit my aunts, as you know, out in California.
Yes.
She
Yes,
came
you
from
do.
11 children.
Wow.
And two of her brothers got killed in the war. I remember that. One was notified the day she had me. You gain something, you lose something,
Yes.
right? One of her brothers. And he was in the Korean War, and one was in the I guess that was that World War II, whatever World War that was. Yeah, it would be two, I guess. No, it had to be Korean. Korean was after that when I was born. Yeah. So yeah, one of the wars over there. Maybe both were Korean, but my mother was just selfless, but my father was really. And people knocked on the door. Hey, Mex. They called him Mex. Blue-eyed, strawberry blonde hair. Can you? I don't have any money with me, but can you take me home? And Daddy get up and take him home. So, my mother told me I was a lot like him, as far as that. If people need something, I'm going. She was too, but not to. At times, people misuse that, and they have me.
Well, they do that today.
Yeah, they have to, with me, especially when I had workers and stuff.
Yes.
So, but anyway, she, religious lady. I can't quote you. I believe in God for sure. And I'm very spiritual. But Mama, you tell her to quote the Bible. She could do it. She knew the Bible back and forth. And she got hit by a car. 3 months after my father died. And she was debilitated the rest of her life, walking in front of our house on Highway 165. So my mother, but they told her she'd never walk again. It took her 7 years, but she walked again. I had my determination from my mother. And when I went to the hospital, I was in college. She said, Dianne, go home, I'm okay. Going back to school. That's the kind of person she was. She was in the hospital in Shreveport, in a charity hospital up there, which had the best emergency unit in the state. Probably still does, I don't know, because they've got, thank you. Thanks, Cynthia. They've got rid of so much of the charity system, which all the residents had to go through the charity system. That's why the hospitals were so good, and they bought them all new equipment.
Wow.
Shreveport was much bigger than the ones here. So, and they didn't have the kinds of stuff they have today. And so Mama did it pretty much on her own. She went from crutches, like the polio people had, to a wheelchair. Or maybe it was wheelchair to crutches. And then she did wear a polio brace for many years.
Wow.
And because this side was pretty much, this knee was pretty much gone. The cartilage and everything. Yes. It was always pain, bone on bone. But again, back in those days, you couldn't do as much as they can today.
As you can today.
And it was a charity hospital. I don't know if if they did it, but they did. They were very good at trauma. Charity is always the best at trauma.
Yes.
And but my mother never hardly complained. She was in pain for the rest of her life. And she did come down here and take care of my brother's children for 5 years. That they didn't have to. She got better, and she walked with a little limp. She was in pain, but she still walked with a little limp. That's it. Again, my determination comes from my mother. And
so much that she could take care of your brother's children.
Oh yeah, cooked and everything. Oh yeah, she was just walked her to walk, limp, and nothing else was bothered. Brain as good as ever until the day she died. Good, our last words were to her to me, "I love you," and I'll never leave you. And she hasn't.
She hasn't.
Never left me. Because so many people, I remember once I was in healthcare and I never let anybody know where I lived. I was working 70, 80 hours a week. I had 150 employees. And I happened to be home that day. And this black RN knocked on the door. Mama could walk on a walker then. And she said, Miss Dianne sent me over here to take care of you. I never let one nurse came to my house. That was it. I did all the aid stuff myself. And, but, you know, she wasn't that bad then. The last 2 years she was bad now. She had to have an amputation on that leg. And I jumped out of my bed. Before I could get to the door, she was gone. She obviously had followed me home. I put my address nowhere there in that place. And I wondered, what were you going to do, shoot my mama with some insulin and kill her? Because she would have told me when I got home.
Right.
My director nurse was a white guy. He fired her that day when I told him what happened. She had gone back. Oh, John was very, very loyal to me, very good. He was a nurse, anesthetist from New Jersey. That's where John was from, New Jersey. He died working for me. So did my directive nurse, another white lady who started with me. And she died, I got out of it in, 18, 19? She died about 17. And the day I started, she started with me.
Now where you're at today, and I'm going to be honest and really transparent.
Yeah.
How do you feel? What memories? I know you have great memories of your mom, and I also know it caused
and daddy
and your father, and I also know that there was dissension.
Uh-huh.
You know, families fall apart after death and everything. But yet, Dianne,
no, it fell apart before the death. He was going to put her in a nursing home. That's why I came here.
And that's what I'm saying. How do you feel today? You're such a strong and resilient with such beautiful, fond memories. How do you move past some of that scarring or some of that dissension with?
I don't hate anybody. I'm not mad with anybody. I did what I did and I do it again. But do I believe that people, I didn't have any children that she had to take care of for 5 years. She moved down here, but when she got sick, she was back up in my hometown. And, you know, I took care of her and would continue to do it. But at first, you know, that was just some kind of, it wasn't, you know, it was, I can't remember, she had kidney stones or something.
Right.
And so she stayed with me. And when I married my first husband, he was better to her than her own son. And anybody else around my brother. And he said my mother was the strongest patient he ever had in all his days practicing.
Wow.
She was strong. And she could withstand a lot of pain. And she did, like I said, the rest. And he was at that funeral, when she passed, you know, the nurse told me at the hospital, boy, he calls every 30 minutes, and has she changed when she was dying.
Do you think that a lot of this is what drives your spirit to do I spoke with one of your guests in the green room, and she talked about you remind her of a female Donald Trump.
Oh, really?
Yes.
God, give me the trillions, give me the billions,
and
the millions.
She said you just never stop. You go from, you know, thing, and not saying scattered, but strategically, you're doing things.
But you know what?
And is that where that comes from? Maybe the never really settling down, so you don't have to.
When I was young, growing up, right, back in my hometown, the first thing I'd do, get the book, finish the studying, go get on the phone. Nobody ever had to say, Dianne, go study. Dianne, go do this. Dianne, take care of this. I've always been that way, I think. And God gave me a lot of gifts, and what I would do for writing, how I got into writing, I could always write and speak, and, you know, I was in the drama club in high school, like I told you. And I was valedictorian of my high school class. And I was the queen of the high school. It was a little town.
Yes.
And I always had a lot of gifts from God. I always had that left-right brain thing going. I was a National Merit Honor Award. But I think, like, a girlfriend of mine in Atlanta, her husband told me, Dianne, stop creating. Start trying to sell some of this.
Get some of this, right.
That's I like to create it. And because I said, oh, this needs Fuji toast. Like I said, God gave me that idea. I didn't go to make a doggy pillow, so I figured something he wants me to do.
So how did you go make coffee? I was just saying, so how did you go make coffee?
Because the building was there.
Okay.
I had the drive-through. There's no coffee on Florida for a long ways.
Okay.
Government has all kinds of coffee. I'm not a big coffee drinker. I'm a tea drinker. And decaffeinated or something with hazelnut. I love hazelnut. But I thought it was something there was a need. And I didn't think it would cost this much money and take this long.
Yes, so you've taken a big undertaking.
Yes, it is. And I wanted to get something to get money in while Fuji Totes is going, because I believe this is my $1 million idea. I really do.
Yes.
Mr. Pillow. I really want to do an infomercial. So I was really doing it to make money, because it's a lot of money in here, in Fuji Totes. There are 800 in the building, and they were never made in China. My
Oh, yeah,
beliefs
that's right.
are against China, what they've done.
Made in America.
Made in America now. They were made in India.
Yes.
But I don't like the quality in China. I don't understand why, and it's the Democrats who let them, and all of them in Congress, let them make our medicine. We were threatened during COVID to Trump. If you don't stop saying we bought COVID, which they did, the Wuhan virus, I called it on the book I wrote on COVID.
Yes, you did.
That we're going to stop supplying you with antibiotics.
Right.
And that needs to come. Don't tell me we can't make antibiotics here. Or we can't make
We
medicines
can pretty
here.
much do everything here.
And everybody gave it away.
Yes.
Why would you? Well, they didn't give it away. They sold out
Right,
our
they sold
country.
it.
The politicians got paid to sell us out. Like right now, President Trump is trying to get Europe. See, Europe doesn't have oil. America is the most gifted by God country in the world. We have more oil than anybody in the world. Most people don't know that. We are number one in the world that Donald Trump is back in exporting oil to the rest of the world. We are also number 1 or 2 in natural gas in the world. We have everything but a girl's best friend, which is diamonds.
Now I'm going to ask you, because you know we're on a no holds bar. I'm going to go to President Trump and talk real quick about President Trump, because a lot of people, and let's just be, when they see this, they're going to look at you and they're going to have a lot to say.
Yeah, they do now.
They
Yeah.
say it now, but this airing, when we do, we're talking business. We're going to talk a little bit about pleasure after this, but now we're talking a little bit about politics. And you are, when I say extremely, you are extremely proud of who you are and who you support. And I want to hear your thoughts on that. I want you to look into the camera and give your thoughts on exactly
Why?
why.
Do I like everything he does? No. Do I like everything he says? No. But again, I grew up in a tough environment. I was, one of the few black women, the second black woman since was at IBM or any company, major company. They give you your marching orders. You get them done or you get out. So, and I kind of believe in that. I wasn't a product of EEOC, so I never got anything based on my number as a black and a woman. Which
Exactly.
And I don't believe in that, because that person flying that plane for DEI, if United was told by Joe Biden's administration, Kamala's administration, to have 50%, your next 4 years, have 50% DEI candidates. I don't care what color they are. Let me tell you, I had to have a surgery once, and I asked for the best anesthesia. I knew who the surgeon was. I want the best anesthesia. I don't care if they're Indian. I don't care if they're Pakistani. I don't care if they're Muslim. I don't care what color they are. And I proved that. I hired all kinds of people. So we'll see you next week. Come on back to Dianne Andrews and Black and White. Follow us on our social medias. You'll see them up on the screen also. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Ellen, and I'm here to talk about Fiji's Totes. This is a wonderful dog bed. I cannot say enough good things about it. And the crazy thing is that it's just a dog bed, but it's so much more than that. As you can see, my dog Bailey is perfectly comfortable and happy in her happy place on her Fiji's Tote. What's so great about this pillow and why I decided that I had to talk about it was because I had spent so much money on dog beds. Every month I was buying a new dog bed, $50, $60. The next month, another one, because it would get stinky and I couldn't clean it and all this kind of stuff. And finally when I met, well, I'd already known Miss Dianne, but when she told me about her dog pillows and how great they were, I was like, I need to get one. So I got one, and I've been so amazed by it. The biggest thing to me is that it doesn't carry any odor, which is crazy because my dog likes to go and jump in the pond, play outside. She's a crazy one. And I like my house to be very clean and smell nice. And I've never had any issues with the bed smelling like dog. Also, you can throw it in the wash. You just throw it in, wash it, and then let it air dry, and it's perfect. You can vacuum it in between, and it's just amazing. I can't say enough good things. I've had my Fuji's tote for this blue one for 3 years. She outgrew this one, and she would not go back to another dog bed. So then I got my second one, and it's been about 2.5 years. And look at the quality. Like, honestly, she sleeps on it every night. And it still looks as good. Now there's dog hair on it right now because I didn't clean it really good for you. But I wanted you to see, like, real life, what it still looks like for 2.5 years, when other dog pillows, I would have had to, after a month, I would have had to buy a new one.
Because most dog beds, they have a zip-off cover. You're never getting the foam.
Exactly.
And this, you put it in the washer, and it washes. And I have a stackable, and I put the big pillows because every room they have a dog bed because my dogs. I have a multi-pool, and everybody knows Fuji, and a pool. And when we wash it, it just pops. You take it out. It shrinks down with the water. It's really weird looking at it, and then it shrinks down. People say, how do you get that big pillow out stackable? It's not that big. And then it comes right back up.
Yes.
And then in 20 minutes it air dries.
Yes. It doesn't change its form or anything. And then when my mom comes to
now
visit,
these are new pillows. The red is a new pillow.
I love these new colors.
What some people do, I've got the brown. We've got 27 color combinations. We've got purple and gold. We've got blue and gold. We've got black and gold. We've got all the color combinations for Louisiana and most places. I happened to meet Omar Gooding. He was in my office. He was in Baton Rouge for something. And somebody brought him by. That's Cuba Gooding's brother. And he's a television star too. And I had a purple and gold one in the office. He said, "Oh, the Lakers colors." I said, "Yeah, it's the Lakers colors." I said, "It's LSU too." But the colors I have, if you look at them, they're every color for everybody. Like blue and gold is a basketball team somewhere, college, high school, whatever. We could probably make everything to match. And what I started doing, let's say you wanted to put this red on pink for some reason. You can take this off and you can snap it on this pillow. So you can make anything match.
That would have been perfect for my Christmas pictures this year.
Yeah. You had red, for red, yeah.
Well, I had the pink pillow, but if I
what we're going to do is we're going to be selling the spreads differently. Now my pillow, as you know, I'm a big person against China and what they've done to this country and what our people have allowed them to do. And they want to destroy us. So I don't want that. I do have to buy stuff from China until they bring everything back. But this pillow was never made in China. This pillow weighs, and this will carry a rock wobble, 120-pound rock wobble. We'll show you one on the reel. But this is 4.5 pounds. The little one over here, the blue one for the baby, and you can actually carry the doggy in.
Which
the
is
little
so
dogs.
cute.
Yeah, and his necessities.
If Bailey wasn't so heavy, I would totally carry her like that.
Yeah, and a lot of people do. That's what I liked about this one, because my Fuji, when he was sick, Fuji Toast 1, I would carry him in the pillow.